all the hype of the draft and summer league has passed. Now can we put it on the floor and qualify for the Olympics? Here to help us sort that out is the man poised with that task, the head coach of the senior men's national team, Jay Triano. Welcome back to the show, Jay.
Thank you very much for having me on.
How you doing?
Doing very well.
Good.
Yeah, middle of camp, a little tired, but we got a great trip ahead of us, and we take off tomorrow for Europe, and it'll be great for these young players to experience playing on some foreign soil.
I want to get into that 11 game schedule that you guys are going to go through for the end of the summer, but I wanted to just talk about how we got here. And a few years ago, Sid and I were on this measly little podcast talking about the current crop of Canadians, saying if they live up to the hype, we could see some things that we've never seen before. And we saw those things. I mean, here we are coming off back-to-back first overall picks. We got guys littered through Summer League in Vegas. Mm-hmm. Did you think that this was going to come to fruition when, this all started, back about 5-6 years ago?
I don't think that anybody could have foreseen that it was going to happen and as fast as it did, or has with as many people as it has. Except that the success kind of breeds success, and we've done a great job. There's different reasons, but we've done a great job with young players in this country. Whether it's AAU coaches taking them down and playing in the States against the best competition, or coaches opening up gymnasiums for kids to continue to play and challenge them to get better. And we're seeing more good players in Canada, and it's not going unnoticed throughout the United States and around the world. So it's a great time. It's not going to happen overnight. It's still not going to happen overnight. We talk to our players that are here, and it's a very young group, that the Olympics in 2016 are actually in 2015 for us, because that's when you have to qualify. So, the maturation process has to be accelerated, and that's part of what we're doing in camp right now.
The obvious question about how it translates to success for the national team is one that I'm sure you guys are trying to go through. How much of it, though, has to do with the delicate balance of the players' interests, and we can see, a vast majority of them are in interesting situations in the NBA right now. Mm-hmm. How much of it has to do with the balance of the national team's hopes and wishes, the club team's hopes and wishes, and the individual players' hopes and wishes?
Well, it has to be a combination of all of those, and I think everybody has to be respectful of everybody else. We spent a lot of time last week in Las Vegas talking to general managers and coaches of the teams that have Canadian players playing for them.
Right.
And, our young players are at a tough point in their lives, because we're hoping and expecting them to be great international players for us. At the same time, they're learning and trying to become elite NBA players so that they can extend their careers. And if we can't have one without the other. If they're not NBA players or they're not learning on a regular basis, they're not going to help our national team. If they play for the national team and they don't make the NBA, we're in a bad spot. So, we have to work in conjunction with the different teams, and that's what our goal was at Summer League last week, was to, build relationships with not only those teams and the general managers, but also the players. And the players that have played for us in the past, the Corey Josephs and the Andrew Nicholsons and the Tristan Thompsons and the Kelly Olynyk's, that's not an issue at all. It's the younger players and getting them to feel comfortable with our national team and showing them that we're going to do everything that we can to help you not only play for Canada, but to extend your career professionally as long as we possibly can as well.
I know that Steve has said this before, so I'm not going out on a limb, but how often do you sell the idea that Nash took the next step by playing on the national team?
Well, Steve does it himself.
Yeah.
He's here working with the players on the floor and talking to them all the time. And you're exactly right. We saw that, me firsthand, and his career in the NBA was, at a crossroads, and then all of a sudden the success at the Olympics took it to another level, and it gave him a great deal of confidence, and he was able to go on and be not just a good player in the NBA, but maybe the best player for 2 years in a row when he won the MVP award.
Who's the one player over the last, say, 5 years that has developed into something that you didn't think was possible, or has it exceeded the expectations of Canada basketball?
Oh, in the last 5 years? I don't know. We always thought that, guys like that have, Kelly Olynyk was a guy who was on our national team at a young age. I think that his game transformed. We would play him at the 3 spot a little bit. Then he got bigger and he grew and he got stronger in the year that he redshirted at Gonzaga. And now he's playing either one of the forward positions for the Celtics. I thought he had a good year.
Yeah.
I think every one of these kids. Corey Joseph is an NBA champion now, and after playing, a short period of time at the University of Texas, and now he's in the NBA and representing his country. So, different guys have accelerated, and the fun part about this, and the one thing that I hope we were able to talk to one day, is that these guys are going through the tough time together now as young players. Last summer, Corey and Tristan and Andrew Nicholson, 22, and 23 years old.
Yeah.
That's really infant as far as the international game. We're playing against guys like Scola, who have been around forever, and Francisco Garcia from the Dominican, who are in their 30s. And I think you reach your age in your late 20s, and if that's the case, 2016 might not be realistic. But after that, the sky's the limit for this team.
11 exhibition games across the pond. What are you hoping to see?
Well, we're going to see great teams. We know that. Of the 11 games, 8 of them are getting ready for the World Championships of basketball. And 6 times that we play, we're going to be playing in the home country. We're going to be playing against Slovenia in Slovenia, against Croatia in Croatia, against Italy in Italy, against Spain in Spain. So they're going to be great games with hostile environments. And we said last summer when we didn't qualify, the thing that we need is to learn how to play the international game. Well, it's going to be baptism by fire this summer.
Yeah, most definitely will. I really appreciate you taking the time. I know it's busy for you and a busy stretch for you, but appreciate you joining us here on Tim and Sid.
It was great talking to you. Thank you very much.